you all have been assigned a new task. At the very least, by your employer. You guys gotta go to a different city. Some of you have pointed out that you've already been there.
Did you get money
But,
for it?
well,
You don't get money for
bad timing. Also, Necro, you got a lot of static coming through yours.
Really?
Yeah.
Better or worse?
A bit better from the sounds of it.
How about now? How about now?
Oh, Tommy.
Yes.
Did you see
Yeah, that's a lot better. Never mind.
How about now?
Better, a lot better.
Yes, I did.
Ah.
They were like, I mean, it's a form letter. I mean, if they want to ask us something, they have to ask us.
Mm-hmm.
At Marco's, get unlimited medium one-topping pizzas for just $6.99 each. Get the ultimate comfort food, cooked at over 450 degrees.
So,
You lying second shit? The ultimate comfort food is chicken, bitch.
wait, what?
Somebody's got a commercial in the background saying pizza is the ultimate comfort food. That is categorically false. Because chicken is the ultimate comfort food.
Oh, let's get up.
Hello.
Yeah, Tokyo, I was going to say you're deafened, so. All right, everybody's here, so let's get started. As I said before, you guys have been assigned to go back to a different city to try to figure something. They were somewhat vague. Beyond that, though, well, she promised payment. Matter of fact, have any of you actually... You're not sure any of you have been getting paid in the first place.
Were we going to Sidros or Gray Ridge?
Now, could you repeat? You cut out there for me.
We were going to Gray Ridge or Sidros?
One moment, I have to pull up my own map again.
3 or 4, I can't remember.
It was Syndros, City 4.
Wait a minute. We haven't been paid the last 3 things we've done.
Yep.
We didn't get paid for the tomb, we didn't get paid for rescuing her, we didn't get paid for finding the smuggler phylactery.
I doubt we'll get paid as much.
Cool.
Ow. Well, that's something you'll have to take with Felicia. For now, though, do you guys want to start heading... You guys can head towards Syndros now, or do you want to just work later? I mean, sorry, I should probably rephrase that. Do you want to get You want to get some supplies first, or do you just want to head there immediately?
I think I'm good. I could leave immediately. What about the others?
I don't know what's happening. I don't know what we're doing.
You guys can either get supplies and stock up for the journey, which will be about a week. You also have to pass through the other...
Where are we
last
going?
Syndros, city number 4, as it's labeled on the map.
Syndros?
So,
Why are we going to Syndros?
because your employer told you needed to.
Did she say?
She really didn't know much details either.
Cool.
Will she be coming with us, or are we meeting up there?
You'll be meeting up there. She did say she was going to be heading out somewhere. If Ella went to plan, she'd have her own carriage to take around 2 days from now. She needs to make preparations herself, so you can either leave with her or spend however much time you need here.
I will vote to go in a group rather than separately. What do you guys think?
He's actually he's not he's very accommodating, as if he were to know.
Is it the cleric lady that we saved that's coming with us?
Yes.
I think that she should travel with us.
So now we can move on to the next step, which is getting into
It's 2 votes for her to come with us.
No, 2 votes for you to go with her. She's not staying in the city any longer than she needs to.
Okay.
Yeah, fuck it, let's go with her, then she can explain why she hasn't been paying us.
or ask payment before we leave.
And we can ask her while we're leaving for payment with her.
Okay, so I believe it's made. So, yeah, sorry. So you guys want to just head out with her? All right. You have 2 days to wrap up anything you might have wanted to do.
Is there anything anybody wanted to get done?
Yeah, Octavius, I got a question for you.
What's that?
Think it'd be a good idea to ask for a date since we don't know when we'll be coming back?
I would write to the lady and say, I have a business venture taking me out of the city for at least a week. And would write upon returning to set up for a date.
Wouldn't it be gone for more than 2 weeks?
Yeah, that's why I said we're going to be out for at least a week, is what I said.
It'll take at least.
You could also just say for a while. You could also just go tell this to her face so that she can say goodbye
You
to
know
you.
how fancy pants people, they don't like to talk to each other. They just want letters.
Are you a fancy pants person?
No, but I've
The
dealt
person
with way
asking
too many.
advice.
So when were you asking this?
I'm asking you, are you a fancy pants person?
I looked down, covered in grease, oil stains.
You should just go see her.
I mean, his house is bigger than any land I've ever lived on.
That's cool. He's
Actually,
obviously not fancy pants. And
This
do
is the
fancy
summer
pants
home,
thing.
isn't it?
Freaking summer home. He owns multiple houses.
That doesn't make you a fancy pants.
Yes, Toki, we have not been getting paid for our last few assignments.
And apparently my mother owns an army, which I didn't know until recently.
I still recommend you go see her in person. Rather than
With less asthma. Thanks to Dupixent,
Hmm.
the add-on treatment for specific types of moderate to severe asthma. Dupixent isn't a sudden breathing
So
problem.
Professor Lover, what do you think? What do you think I should do?
So she has 2 days to come up with my money, or I'm leaving.
Again?
Serious allergic reactions can occur, including
I mean, it's a goblin. The only reason the goblin was sticking around is because it was getting paid.
problems such as rash, shortness of breath, chest.
And thus we are introduced to Toki's 5th NPC.
I kind of regret seeing him that picture.
It looks like Ty. Okay, I like that picture, but I'm not. If I have to make another character, I'm not making a dwarf.
What's so bad with a Scottish dwarf?
I always see. I don't want a dwarf. I already have made several dwarf characters.
And whose fault is that?
Dungeons and Dragons for being so awesome.
Okay.
Wait, I have a picture. Have I sent it to y'all? Yes, it's above. Have you seen the picture?
The Kenku?
Yeah, the picture with the Kenku.
You mean the thing that characterizes your life as a DM?
Yes. Which is sad because I have a group that I just sit in and watch people talk about playing D&D, and I just got asked to DM a thing for beginners, and I'm just like, I don't think I'm a good pick for teaching people how to play D&D, even though I have a shit ton of the modules.
I mean, you don't have to be good at something to teach people to be bad at something.
Yeah, just look at all my teachers.
Oh, that's
You're a faggot. I'm not talking to y'all.
I would hope not.
I mean, you want to go, Doc? Stop it! In the words of the famous TikTok, where's my money? Give me all your fucking money.
Fucking quote TikTok.
My favorite one is the little girl. She's talking to the doll. And I guess the doll owes her some kind of money. It's, give me my fucking money. She throws the fucking doll and it's the thing goes doom doom and then special victims units appears on the screen. I'm just like, I die every time I see it.
That's hilarious.
Fuck your chicken strips.
So, I suppose you
I
guys
don't
have
know what we're
done.
doing it for.
Most of you are bickering about the fact that none of you were getting paid.
Ultimatums have been given.
Oh, you want pay? I figured you just wanted it when the entire job was done. And for each of you, she pulls out a bag. And I need to check rates again. Let's see. You've done 3 jobs so far. At 150 gold per job. She pulls from a bag of holding. Let's see. There are. Well, oh no, wait. Only Octavius and Azrael were here for the full 3. You two only here for 1. So Azrael and Octavius, you both get bags containing 450 gold. Toki and Holly, you both only get 150.
Oof.
Nice.
You only did 1 job. Is that sufficient? That was the rate we agreed to when we first started.
Yes.
Everybody looks at each other because I don't remember us discussing a rate at any point.
I would have
Well-
to look back at the beginning of this campaign.
I don't remember anything.
I haven't. I think we agreed to 150, and if not, well,
Check
I'll
the
be
tapes.
generous. I'm a bit too lazy to do that, but I'll just say it's 150. And if it's something lower, then I think it might be in your best interest not to correct
Yada
me.
yada. We're just gonna yada yada that part.
Yeah, no. I would
No, they-
honestly think that it's in your best interest not to correct me on this point. Because for all we know, I put it at a much lower rate when we first started out.
So this is entrance for late payment.
Sure, let's call it that. Who keeps DCing?
Okay.
Stop it. Fuck off. You don't leave me the fuck alone, cat. I'm going to suplex the shit out of you.
Don't suplex the
Poor kitty. Just wants to be loved.
No, my cat's an asshole. It doesn't want to be loved. It wants to
All
be in the
cats
way.
are assholes.
I mean, have you met Dog Cat?
I'm sorry.
I should say Cat Dog.
I'm sorry. Did you have a stroke?
Bug cat.
Cat Bug. So adorable.
Yes, he is.
Yes.
You're all my friends now. We're having tacos.
Jesus. Okay, so you guys just want to skip over the 2 days, or you just want to?
I mean, does anybody have anything they're gonna do? Any blacksmithing you've been?
I have that one item that I don't even remember what it was that I was waiting on for, which is not going to be here for another week.
Wasn't your instrument a specific instrument?
Yeah, it was one of the bard instruments that let me cast a free spell out of it.
The Iron Stone?
The what?
Iron Stone?
That's no.
Okay.
That was kind of a dickish way to say that. It's not no, it's no.
So, I don't think I ever got the answer from you. Do you guys want to skip the days, or?
I'll send a message saying I'll be out of the city for at least 2 weeks.
True, but that doesn't that doesn't cover the fact that you guys will still be in town for the next 2 days.
We'll be leaving in 2 days. We'll probably be gone.
He's talking to that chick that he's trying to date.
Okay. So I'm assuming that's a yes.
Yep.
The person who is currently seeing someone wants to go speak with them or write them a letter.
Yeah, and
No,
he said that what he did.
He did the Zoomer way. He sent them a text message.
Basically, he sent them he basically just sent them a candygram.
How rude.
What the hell's a candygram?
It's where you pay
It's a
bellhop
little thing that
to
comes
bring
with
someone a box
candy.
of chocolates with a message.
Yeah,
Basically.
Wait, what?
like a telegram, except
Well,
with
technically,
candy.
Rieka did that, but you don't know that.
technically, it's an old-fashioned way, like back in like the 30s to 50s, where people paid. It's just a secondary form of telegram that rich people did.
It managed to. Those leaves through contact.
Candygram from Mongo.
Yeah, that was good. But yeah, no. So you gave the message to Munieka to send, and she sent the candygram because she thought that might go over a bit better. She didn't tell you that though. And if you ever ask why, she felt
Probably
like it.
reasons.
Yeah, she has her reasons. You don't need to fucking question them. You don't need to question anything.
So the only thing we actually need to stock up on is rations and pet food.
Almost definitely. Definitely rations and pet food, because let me tell you right now, if any of you attempt to hunt, there is a good chance whatever you try to kill likely sees you as food too.
I also could just take the spell, create food and water. You guys didn't.
True, but
That's
yeah,
a spell
true, but
slot
that
a
makes it a
day,
little
and it doesn't
that makes it a
taste
little
good.
less fun.
God damn it, Necro! Stop giving Toki ideas.
I didn't get the what? Why is
Look at
why
that
is
badass.
there?
That's a big ass coat.
He's got a coat. I must see now.
That's my bitch.
Look in the
hunting coat.
general.
I hold up. I'm on my laptop. Ah, damn it! Not random stuff. Ah,
All right, how much for?
it's
a
it's
month's worth
Snoop
of
Dogg.
rations?
If he played D&D,
So how much is a month's worth of rations with dog food?
Depends on whether you're all right eating what are effectively just bricks of protein and fat melded together, or if you want to eat actual food. Oh no, it's literally just somebody figured out the alchemical process of combining protein and animal fat into an edible substance, and then just packaged that as rations. Surprisingly,
Well,
that's
I'm
the
gonna go
biggest
with the
seller in the
MREs.
military. Yeah. So you want to buy a bunch of MREs? That is 3 gold a pop. That means for a month, it's about 90 gold, but since the bulk order, it gets cut down to 60.
Jesus fucking Christ! How do people afford rations?
bro, you know
They
how
don't
much
buy
actual
them.
MREs cost
I actually don't.
for one case? It's almost $100,
Sheesh.
and the 24 come in a pack, and they're like $11 a piece.
Okay, that's about right.
Working that out, that's more than 100.
You get the discount for buying them in bulk.
Yeah.
Army prices.
Yeah, they are cheap, but keep in mind, if you submerge these things in water and let them freeze, you could use these as throwing weapons. This is actually something he said right after saying, by the way, don't try to freeze these things or attempt to treat them to last longer than they already do. We've had people do that and then break their jaws trying to eat it afterwards. Seriously, if you freeze these things, you no longer have food, you have weapons.
Fine then, I'll pay for the MREs so we all can eat like kings. You said it
Yeah,
was 90
so
gold?
90 gold. Just for a month. You are not making a new character.
It's too late. I've already started.
Okay. No.
Damn it, Necro! So how many... So, Alright, so it's a month worth of rations.
Yep.
I'm gonna assume that includes the animal food.
Yeah. That's why it was 3 and not 2. a day's worth of a day's worth of pet food for any animal is about 1 gold, at least typically.
All right. Well, I paid for all our freaking pets to come with us.
I was
Yay.
thinking of leaving Lenore behind.
That cat is gonna be Garfield when you get back if you do that.
Yeah, I don't want to risk him getting killed here on the way there. Or is it going to be like a gesture kind of thing?
So it's more about building a relationship with Jackson. I'm hoping that the trust that I built.
There's only one way to find out.
To Jackson stepping up on the glove today.
Leaving the cat behind be my option.
Alrighty.
Well, let's see what happens. I'm just gonna talk to him.
You notice they're actually fairly upset that you're leaving. Or rather, they just seem to cling to you a lot more.
Also, you have a freaking displacer beast. You think you're gonna be able to tell it to stay anywhere?
Fine, I'll take it. I'll take them.
Brian, roll the cat's charisma.
It doesn't know how to beg yet.
It bites you.
Oh,
Stay.
that's one thing you have to teach him not to do.
So, you all ready to get? You all ready?
You okay, bud? You try this out.
Believe so.
The day before we go, I try to find a way to get this tattoo on my ass removed.
Again?
I forgot I had that. Someone did that during my second night here. Hopefully less painfully than the first time I got a tattoo removed.
All right. Well then, roll an investigation. Unfortunately, no. You do not find any place on such short notice that will do that service for you. One rather bristly man does tell you just take a knife and do guesswork.
Tried that once. Did not work.
It looks like she's not always.
Hey, did we ever need to turn over this portal beacon? Because I have that in my inventory.
Come again?
I just wrote down portal beacon in my notes. I think it had to do with that teleportation thing that we found. Did we ever have to hand that over?
So we're going to feed all of our wild dogs. sure everyone looks good.
Currently scrambling through his pile of notes, trying to remember what the hell I'm talking about.
Is she shifting around, trying to get
Yeah,
for her in a better position
did you?
to be able to
It was in the crypt.
pretty much what they should be doing all the
If
time.
that helps.
Crypt.
I'll definitely be here early in the
It
morning.
was something there.
I'm feeling pretty good right
Sorry, could you say what the item was again? I have the crypt
Portal
up.
beacon. I think it's used with a few others to stabilize it like a teleportation circle or something.
Oh yes, no, it's just used with the one. The only thing that needed to be used in a set were those statues you got back from the barbarian tribe. These things are handy little devices that are completely useless to anyone outside of those attuned, and unfortunately, it seems to be tethered to one person in particular's soul. So really, it's just a fancy paperweight at the moment. Unless that guy croaks it. Unless that guy croaks, so you can always wait that out.
Wait a minute. What do you mean those idols had to be used as a set? What are you talking about?
There were multiple of them.
Oh, I'm thinking of some. Those ivory idols of bliss?
Yeah, no, those were used to sedate it, and they needed multiple of it because the thing was an eldritch abomination from a dimension not their own. And as such, it kind of needed a few of them.
Not that thing. You're thinking of the interdimensional thing. I'm talking about the dwarven crypt where we saw a guy go through a portal and this was left behind.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah, no. Effectively. Oh, sorry. I was thinking of a completely different device. My bad. Well, ignore what I just said. But point being, this is just a handy little device that's keyed to effectively be a waypoint. If you set it down and set it up, allow it to root itself in one position for a while, you'll be able to, so long as you have the teleportation spell on you, instantaneously move back and forth between that points whenever you please. Now, there is a slight possibility that if you're in a hurry, you might dislodge it, which is what happened to allow you to get this one. They had to sort of rush.
So not even circle, you just use teleport.
Well, that's if you just want to take yourself with you. If you want to take multiple, use circle.
Okay, so I can potentially do that at some point in the future.
It doesn't work with Dimension Door, so it is going to take a while.
Bard's learned teleportation circle.
Oh. Play a sick-ass tune on your flute, and then all of a sudden you rip a hole in space-time.
Technically, I need chalk.
Power chords.
I don't have... Unfortunately, I'm not high enough level to get that yet.
Still, that can happen.
Yeah, so once we get that level, I'll set this up in Octavius's house and have a free beach home.
Summer home.
Beach home for me.
It's kind of odd because this is the middle of a massive mountain range.
The point is, I get to go there for free.
Do we have a bag of holding by any chance?
I don't know. I think we looked for one, and I don't remember if we ever got one. I don't see one in my inventory.
Before we leave, can I pop into a magic shop?
Sure. You find yourself in the one you went in a while back, the one your whole party went to at one point. And then looks up. Oh, hello. How are you doing?
Pretty well, and yourself?
Can't complain. Making money.
By any chance, do you have any bags of holding?
One moment. Yes, I believe I. That will be. So I'm actually. God, because I keep needing to look up.
We went through a lot with
What the?
Surrey these past. We could to prepare for this litter. Unfortunately, it didn't.
So it is. That would be 500 gold.
It is part of the.
Good thing we just got paid.
Still,
I know, right?
working
And
with
how much is for a quiver of I can't remember right
Auto
now.
right?
Huh? Quiver of something. I just can't remember at the moment.
I know what you're talking about. It's that miscellaneous item that just writes what you speak, right?
He's saying quiver, not quill.
Oh, I thought. The thing that doubles ammo, or
Efficient quiver.
efficient quiver.
And holds a lot more stuff than just
Gotcha.
arrows and stuff.
I'm sorry to say we do not have one. I could put in an order for one from another city for you, if that would be all right, and have it delivered to your place of residence.
I'm leaving this week, so I won't be back for quite some time.
It wouldn't get here for at least 2 weeks, I'm afraid.
And there she goes, right in it.
Just for today, I will just take the bag.
Well, if you want the quiver, that'll be 450. The bag will be 500. Anything else?
That'll be all.
Okay, I'm assuming you pay in full for the bag, and do you want to pay now for the quiver, or?
No, I didn't agree for the quiver. Wasn't there another magic shop that I went to where I got the displacer cape? The cloak.
Yes, but you'd have to find it again. You haven't been there in a bit.
I'll pay for the bag here, and I'll go look for the other magic shop.
Roll investigation. Unfortunately, you are unable to find it. Sorry, you just had a bit of a bad day. So, Holly, do you want to do anything before the 2 days are up?
My inventory.
Hmm?
I don't have it on my phone. I'm gonna check my inventory real quick, and my computer froze, so I have to wait.
All right.
I might go shopping though. If I do, it's for diamonds. I just want to make sure I have 2 before I.
Shine bright like a diamond.
Okay. Let's see. So do you just want to get that, or is there anything else you want to get?
Well, it depends on if I have diamonds already, because I think I still have at least 2 revivifies ready, which is plenty for us. But I want to make sure that's what I have.
Yes. Okay. Yeah. No, I see it in the notes. You do have enough. You have both enough gold if you needed to, and B, you already had a diamond or 2 stashed away. I remember.
Okay. As long as I have enough for 2 revivifies, I'm good. Which I think I have 3 100 cost diamonds, and then I have 1 300 cost diamond.
So you want just 1 diamond worth 300?
No, I think I already have a diamond worth 300, and I think I have a set of diamonds that are worth 300 altogether. So I think
Yeah.
I'm
So
fine.
you have 2 revivifies you can cast.
Yeah, so no, I'm fine.
Just remember, this stuff will get consumed when you cast the spell.
That's why I want to.
All right. So, I believe Toki, do you want to do anything?
Nope, not really.
All right. So, 2 days come and go, and from there, you find a lot of you all load up into the carriage Alicia had rented, and off you go. You manage to slowly make your way through the. You guys slowly make your way through the various mountain passes and narrow canyon and narrow roads to eventually find yourself at a small clearing that's sort of been carved into the mountainside. Provides nice cover, allows people to have some privacy from the outside world. And beyond that, well, there aren't many amenities, to be honest. So, as the cart pulls in for the night, what do you guys want to do? Do you want to stay in the cart, or do you want to go out and set up a bit of a makeshift campsite?
How big is the cart?
Enough to comfortably seat all of you. Not big enough for all of you to comfortably sleep in it.
Like, I actually need a foot radius. I actually need a diameter of how wide it is.
You're trying to do the hut, right?
Oh, sorry. From front to back, it is. Let's see. I've never had to look this up, but 6 feet. 6 feet long, about 5 feet wide. It's a bit more of a boxy one.
So it can mostly fit.
Again, fit, but none of you can really sleep in it. At least if any of you want a comfortable night.
That means the outside that's not touching in the cart is also protected.
Gelatos are unique.
Hmm.
Their heart function is unique, and the fact that we have cardiologists to do this is amazing.
If you ask a child to draw a picture of
So we don't even have to take watch if we don't want to.
behind bars, we're gonna take that image and change it.
Or match the cue.
Well, so long as nothing casts Dispel Magic on it, but yeah, you probably won't have to worry about that.
Before we take a rest, by any chance, can I continue working on the armor set?
No, at the moment you need a stationary you need a permanent place to sort of set up a workstation and all that stuff.
No, I just remember. I just remember we finished the written design.
Yeah, no, like I said, you need a proper workstation to do anything. At best, you could fine tune it.
Yeah, I'll just spend time doing that.
Right, and roll intelligence.
Gelatos are an over monkey.
You find, so surprisingly, you find a few flaws actually. You don't know how you missed them the first time around or how you even managed to create the flaws, but you did. So, it is much easier to use now, and in fact, probably won't break your hand when you try to fire it, which you realize beforehand, had you built this thing with the specifications you had before you fixed it, would have been a legitimate concern and actual possibility. So, that's pretty good. So, anybody else want to do anything before they go to sleep for the night?
I'll cast create food and water so everyone can eat tofu.
Really? You're creating tofu out of everything?
I mean, I was told I can't decide the flavor of it, so it might as well just be tofu.
Can't even season it.
All right. So you cast the spell to create food and water and create a lovely assortment of food stuff. I'm not kidding. It's literally just piles upon. It's like you set up a little table, and like all you do is just set up a little, and all that happens is and all that happens are just these little piles of food goop, I guess is the best way to say it.
No, they're little squares. They're like nice, neat little bite-sized squares. I'm not gonna just make porridge when we don't have bowls or anything. It's a solid food group.
All right,
Come on,
you
man.
make solidified porridge.
Like I said, it's like tofu.
It's tofu. Yes. Yes. Yes.
So, Toki, you have anything you want to do?
Not really, no.
So making a
Octavius?
Oh no, he's done. I had the idea already ready.
Done.
Three new crews are currently in quarantine at the health center. One male and two females. The male that we received from Rotterdam is going to breed with our two females that are currently in the mouse house. Our new male Bart going into a box so that we can quarantine
So,
so he can breed with our females. Putting pine mulch in here.
the night passes, and you all awaken to find the tiny hut isn't actually there anymore. Most of you are just sleeping around the tent, around the carriage, with no real way to warm yourselves up. So yeah, a few of you wake up cold. Whoever was lucky enough to be able to sleep in the tent, you wake up relatively comfortable. The rest of you are cold.
It's cold. It's cold outside.
You're lucky it's not winter.
Octavius, this is normal.
Look, big dog, you act like I can't go buy a coat.
I
You're in
mean,
the middle of the
it's
forest.
supposed to last 8 hours.
I think it's possible somebody disabled it.
Maybe. Check your ship, and I check mine.
Check your shit.
Nothing's missing. As it turns out, you guys just overslept. So, you want to get back to the road again?
On the road again. Yeah, I can't wait to get on the road again.
It takes a lot of planning and it's a lot of work. But, I mean, it's
Here in a no.
allows people to really concentrate on the animal itself. It's going to inspire an interest and learn what they can do to help us conserve crocodiles.
Alrighty, so let's get moving. The rest of you end up in the carriage again, and it slowly starts moving forward, moving ever so closer to the city of back to notes.
Wait, is this a horse-drawn carriage or a magical carriage?
Horse-drawn.
Interact and feed an animal that large and powerful. Especially Cody.
You make your way towards Talsuk. It'll be about a 3-day travel from where you are currently.
Hamlet has found that at the bottom of the pool, sometimes food scraps will be left behind, so she'll kind of sink down to the bottom.
So, as the day passes, do any of you want to do anything?
Say I'm training Cody, even when I'm done targeting and waiting for Pamela to finish.
I'll play fetch with my cat.
Alright. You play it with
God,
the
we
blink.
got 2 cats, an owl, and a dog in a cramped space together.
Oh no, the cat remained. That was actually the most surprising thing. It legitimately remained.
Doesn't what's her face have a cat?
I do indeed have a.
Molly has a cat, yes.
I have this book of alchemy theory. Can I read that on the way over there? On the way.
Sorry, Nick, could you repeat that? You cut out for me. My internet's being a bit of a butt, so.
Can I read this alchemy book that I had since the fucking manor?
So you want to read through it?
It's an alchemy theory book.
Yes.
And I should be reading it.
What we do for so many animals here at the zoo
Well,
is helping those species survive.
you do read. You do read the book.
How can experience boost help you?
I'm in the rebuilding stage.
And from there, for the most part, it's what you knew it was.
I'm now going to use experience full-time.
Boost your credit scores instantly.
Effectively, just a book on the theory and the experimental methods of alchemy. There's very little practical knowledge to be gained. Mostly it explains the processes, the various chemical reactions that occur, how it can be infused with magic to create stronger products.
Or as they say in the scientific community, processes.
If you ask certain scientists, it's how to blow shit up, but each has their own. Yeah, each has their own word for it.
Don't take interest to a pregnant. It can cause harm or death to an unborn baby. Don't take interest to an ace.
So, for the most part, the book does give you most of the basis for what alchemy is and how it can best be used. Beyond that, you'll probably have to find other books to actually give you the actual processes of alchemy.
I'm Molly, a Domino's franchisee.
Putting food on people's tables. And we could use your help doing that. And getting some former
So,
during these tough times to help you. Domino's is hiring.
anyone else want to do it?
Because we're not only putting food on people's tables, we're committed to helping you put food on your
Anyone else want to do anything?
And the star is born.
What are we doing?
Passing the time for the second day to end.
I'm just playing fetch with my cat, but I think I already said that.
Fine, I guess I'll use
In
this
a
time to
moving
also feed
cart?
my dog.
Yeah, I'm like tossing something out of the cart and then letting them go get it, and then I'm just assuming that they blink back into the cart.
Bit much to assume.
I mean, I think my cat likes me. I've been playing with it nonstop. And when we were in the house, it would continuously blink back to me after it did something, so.
So, you do that. It's a bit of an odd process. Alicia also gives you some very concerned and angry looks when you get to camp because she saw the entire time when a ball was getting chucked out of the back of the carriage. And then she saw the cat just leap in after her. Then just disappears.
Wait, what?
Alicia saw you throwing a ball out of a moving carriage and saw your cat leaping out to chase it.
Okay.
And she isn't exactly approving of said methods of play.
That's weird, but sure. To each their own.
Fair enough.
Out of character, quick question. Who has a really high armor class?
Probably Thargarth.
18 on Alicia.
16 on me.
Okay. So I have the highest in the party. That's what I wanted to know.
Well, if it makes you feel special.
I mean, it's more of a, hey, if somebody's going to take hits to the face, it should probably be me. Although I also don't have a lot of hit points.
Our job here is to start the process for collecting this information from him. All we have to do is have him come close to the monitor that will read it for us.
I can get rid of my exhaustion, right? We've been resting for multiple days.
Yeah, your exhaustion has ended. Your exhaustion is long gone.
Cool. So what's next? What are we doing?
So the rest of you find your way to the next site eventually. This time it's actually a small little grove off to the side of the path. There's actually a little winding road down to it. And from there, you can set up camp again. Though this time there are actual campsites set up, like small little impromptu housing areas. Most of them seem to be well insulated and furnished. So either whoever decided to build this area actually wanted to have some stuff there, or whoever was here last died before they could back it up. So, you know. So, who wants to do what? Do you guys want to set up in these tents, or do you want to crowd into a tiny hut?
As I open the door, I was like, do I slowly open the door or do I?
What did we learn?
Also, Holly, at a certain point, like 5 minutes after you guys set up camp, you hear this as the teleporter beast comes bounding back to you and straight up just tackles you. Or at least attempts to. Her weight's probably not enough where she can knock you over yet.
Breeding female. We'll probably let him sit. We obviously want to give him a little bit of time just to let him settle, and then as soon as we feel like he's
So, how would you all like to proceed? How would you all like to proceed?
Driven by a primal desire for meat, a living cat. For links, which really satisfy
Awkward silences.
All the time.
I guess I'll train my dog and then throw up the tiny hut.
Why?
All right. Anybody actually want to sleep in any of the tents, or you just go into the tiny hut again?
Required form, and I got an email saying that they had received it.
What's inside the huts?
Beds, a small table.
For right now,
They all have doors, so you can actually have privacy.
How big are these tents?
of course they are.
10 by 10.
Then
They're rather nice.
They can fit inside the tiny hut.
One can.
Yes, the one I'm sleeping in.
Alrighty.
I'll use a tent.
Okay.
I guess I'll take the carts.
Sorry, Toki, could you repeat what you said there?
I didn't say anything.
Oh, sorry, I thought you did. Or was that? Sorry, exhaustion from schoolwork is starting to get to me, methinks. So, Toki, I'm assuming, Necro, you go to one and work on the designs for a bit?
Yeah.
All right.
Imagine if we ever got to meet. We would be such good friends. Best friends.
It managed to. Kills bleed your contact.
So,
I mean, he's a
you're in a bit of a slump. It's a bit too...
The cat's been going on my lap again, distracting me.
Hmm?
The cat's been trying to get onto my lap again.
I thought you left the cat at home.
Never mind.
That's what you said.
The cat stayed home.
So, Toki, do you have anything you want to do before the end of the night?
Not particularly.
Alrighty. So from there, does anybody want to take watch, or are you all just sleeping in your own tents? It might be prudent to note that all these do have I say tents, but they're more just very ramshackle cabins with doors that can lock. That might be prudent to mention.
I don't mind staying watch.
Hmm?
I don't mind standing watch.
All right.
I'll do watch after you.
Okay, so you have a watch schedule set up. Nazriel, you take first. Roll perception. You don't get much, mostly because you miss your cat. You could have sworn you took him, but him, right?
Yes.
Yeah. You could have sworn you took him. Yeah, sorry. I lost the document with your pet's names and stuff on it. I put it in a pile, and I just don't know where it went. Not the pile, just that paper. But point being, you thought you had taken him with you, but apparently not. You're a bit confused yourself.
I'm looking at the constellation. Suddenly the stars transform into the cat.
You just completely forget that you're actually supposed to be watching stuff, and you just look up and just start like tracing out patterns in between the stars. Holly, you eventually find it to be your shift as you walk outside and find Octavius somehow staring at the stars.
I'm sorry.
Hey,
what?
you aren't you supposed to wake me up?
Yeah, no, he was supposed to, but he got lost in thought, and you woke up yourself. Luckily, it was only like 5 minutes after your shift was supposed to start, but still. So,
You want me to roll perception?
yeah, sorry, I lost words for a second. Like I said, I think fatigue is starting to set in. Ah, Jesus, I cannot wait for summer to hit.
Ooh.
You do slightly better.
Oh.
You
Why am I
mostly
the
just start
queen
playing.
Oh, hi, Ross. When did you get back to the party?
Go. Ta-da. Sorry.
So yeah, you get bored and just start playing catch with your cat, who, of course, is up.
Okay. With a 16, really?
Oh, I was going off the 10. No, with a 16, you actually managed to keep yourself occupied for the entirety without falling asleep, which is actually a fairly common problem for most adventurers. Something you've actually ran into a few times because you've had to lay into a few of your old adventuring buddies because they would fall asleep while on watch duty and end up having your food stolen by something. But for the most part, nothing major came up. At least for the most part, yeah, no, nothing happens. Just fuck, it's boring. But you do your job and stay up the entire time doing it.
Yay.
Eventually morning comes and you wake everybody else up.
Okay.
Of course, you can't get inside the tiny hut unless specifically stated to.
I'll just make tapping noises on the outside if it doesn't let
Sorry. Can you actually repeat that?
I'll just make tapping noises on the outside of it if he doesn't let me in.
So due to the way that the tiny hut is constructed, Octavius, roll a con save. Because effectively, you're doing the same thing as tapping on the glass at the aquarium.
That's funny.
Octavius, you are jolted awake by the loudest noise you have ever heard. As this massive thundering gung 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 is just constantly playing over and over. It sounds like someone's trying to break in.
I open the door.
You're still surrounded by the hut.
I know, I can see through the hut.
You just see Holly tapping. Still loud as hell, though.
I step out of the hut, causing it to break. It's like, what?
It's time to get going. Are you ready or what?
Let me pick up my shit.
As you go in, you notice that the displacer cat had teleported in and it was trying to get at one of the rations.
Stinking kitty cats.
Do you want to take the ration from them or let them have it as food?
Too tired for this shit.
Okay. You lose one extra ration for the day. So, you guys load up in the carriage and set off. At this point, you actually find yourself at the outskirts of Sindros, the second city. And from there, you guys effectively just roll through the entire city because nothing is there to interest you. Rather than getting a tavern that would cost money, you guys just travel a few hours. You guys just cut it a bit close, and are at the very edge of dusk, to the point where it's almost night, and set up at a small campground with another group. They're merchants, and they effectively just stay out of your way as much as possible. So, do any of you want to take watch, or do you want to rely on the merchants' guards to keep watch?
I'll stay guard.
All right, Azrael, roll perception. I mean, you still miss your cat, but it's not as distracting as before. So, during the time, it's boring. Nothing happens. As you actually find out, you actually do see a few monsters skidding about the edge of the campgrounds. They always remain at the edge of the edge of the firelight, of the light of the fire, I should say. But they never venture any further in. You figure it's probably because of the fact that, well, simply put, there's too many of you to actually make it worth it. Work it. Worth it. Sorry, not work it. Ugh. So, eventually your shift comes to an end. Do you want to wake anybody else up to take a second shift, or you just want to go to bed without anybody taking a shift?
I'll wake up Thardred.
Hmm?
I'll wake up Thardred. The goblin.
All right. Toki, you're rudely shaken awake after having a really good rest.
What?
Take watch. There were some monsters out in the light. Take care of them, and I'll pass out.
Mm.
Thurgirth, roll perception.
Performance perception.
We've done some initial breeding introductions between Bard and Polaris. The initial introductions seem to be going well. They're both behaving appropriately. We've seen from Polaris.
So, Azrael was right. There are some monsters that roam around, but most of them are just wolves or other things that get scared away by the light and stuff. So, aside from that, nothing interesting happens. You notice some of the merchants occasionally get up, walk about. You're fairly certain one vanished into the further into the campsite, meaning behind possibly a very small hill to go and take a piss. It's been hard to tell, but at a certain point, you just don't question it.
Don't
Eventually,
worry.
morning does come.
I mean, they've been pretty active since right after we introduced them.
Do you try to wake people up, or do you just want them to wake up on their own?
I'll probably wake them up.
All right. You eventually start waking people up.
It's really just a waiting game. If we don't see them breathe, then we just wait for signs for pups.
So I'm already.
So, as you all slowly rouse awake, you notice. Well, Thargoth, you notice because the rest really aren't awake yet. You all notice that the merchants and the guards were very quick to pack up and start and get the fuck out of Dodge. It might be due to the fact that in recent months there was what effectively amounted to a zombie outbreak. So, maybe that's got people just a tiny bit jumpy.
It goes completely flipped up. Certainly with Gore, now that we know he has these arrhythmias, being able to give him appropriate medications to mitigate what's going on and prolong his lifespan certainly has
So, beyond that, how do you all want to proceed for the day? Any plans in mind, or do you just want to sit in the carriage and stare at the mountains?
Stare at people in their souls.
Okay, so just be a weird guy. Gotcha. Octavius, as you know?
Just start singing some songs on the way over there. Nothing really I can do.
Just put it there, push it down so it's hidden, and then we just cover it.
Well,
Is our main breeding male, and he's the father of a fairly large family group right now.
not so sure about songs, but. So it's about. Necro, could you repeat the second part? I heard the singing part, but not anything beyond that.
I don't have anything worth doing at the moment.
Alrighty. Octavius?
The females are very attached to them, so the health of the male geladas is very important, and we want them to stay healthy long into the future.
Mark?
Just gonna sing a little song.
Alright. Holly? You want to have anything you need to do?
I don't know that she's here.
I'm here.
Yeah. She's here.
I don't know what you asked me,
Ollie.
but I'm here.
Do you have anything you want to do for the day while you guys are in the carriage?
I'll pet my cat.
Play or pet?
Pet. Just like it's laying on my lap and I'm petting it.
Alrighty. Well then. As it were, you... Apologies, had to yawn there. You guys find it fairly easy to pet your cat. It just sort of settles down in your lap. From there,
Kinky.
you just pet it. So, eventually, you find yourself at a small, I guess, plains area is the best way to put it. For the most part, it's simply just a small clearing where trees appear to have been broken off. The stumps are still there, and while they might have been jagged at one point, most of them simply have been, how to put it, smoothed over by time, I suppose. Or you suppose. From there, well then, do you want to set up camp? There's a small spring. There's a few trees fairly close that could provide some shade. Granted, you aren't going to be staying here during the day, so that doesn't really matter, but it would be good to have, if not for some other purpose. So how do you want to do it?
How many more days do we have to travel?
Well, you have about a day and a half's worth of travel to get to the fork, and from there, it's only 4 days to the city.
Okay.
Yep. So, so, hey, I'm just waiting for you guys to respond. I already said my piece.
I mean, we're probably just gonna rinse and repeat. We're just not a lot going on.
We don't have to role play every single day of this trip.
True. You guys just want to skip ahead?
I would not mind doing.
That sounds like a plan.
So, cue one rather humorous montage trip. And eventually...
Get your cat out of my breadsticks.
Get your breadsticks out of my cat.
You have an owl. The owl is eating the cat, eating my breadsticks.
Regardless, so as you guys eventually find your way to the gates of the city, you're allowed entrance fairly easily. It's almost too easy.
Wait a minute. Am I banned from this city?
Do they recognize me?
You aren't banned from any city. You're just not welcome in certain parts. And as for you, Octavius, no, they don't actually recognize you at all. Your family has sway, just not everywhere.
Okay, we need to say Noctis is the royal guy. Octavius
Sorry, I get the
is
names
the
mixed
bard.
up. Noctis. I get names. Like I said, I'm not exactly all here. But
Most people say
Noctis,
Azrael because it's so freaking weird.
yeah, I just call him Necro most of the time. Azrael, you're not recognized, actually. So again, your family has sway, just not as much sway as to where you're recognized everywhere. Octavius, you are recognized by some of the guard.
Uh-oh.
They actually find it kind of funny that you're back.
Is this a good kind of recognizing or a bad kind of recognizing?
Well, none of them have tried to gut you yet, so take your pick.
Wait, is this my hometown or the port city we started in?
No, we started in number 5 or 7. I forget which.
You started in 7. The port city that you were in, Necro, was 5.
Oh. That was Sidros.
No, we got on a boat from your hometown to here.
Yeah.
Yeah, let me make a note of that.
But regardless, as you find your way into the city, the carriage is turned into effectively where it would be turned in. It was a rent, so it was a rental. You eventually have to return it. From there, Alicia leads you to a small inn. It's a rather modest is the best word.
I've most likely played here before.
Surprisingly, no. Even you were a bit too good for this place. I mean, it is nice. It is serviceable. It is an inn by
base definition.
Effectively. From there, you slowly find your rooms. It's actually fairly nice. Due to the sole fact that, well, they're free. So that's something. And the rooms are all individuals, so none of you have to board with one another. Alicia herself gets a rather large room, while all of you get moderately sized ones. And a rather nice woman comes up and tells you that if you want, dinner will be getting made rather soon. By that they mean 15 minutes.
What we do for so many animals here at the zoo. Just helping their species survive. These animals found forever home with us.
Hey, you guys want to stack different Pringles flavors? Bacon flavor combos? Here, I'll go first. Pizza, barbecue, jalapeno, or spicy barbecue pizza.
But regardless, would any of you like to actually go and partake of this dinner? Or would you all just like to stay in your rooms?
I'll go down for dinner.
All right, it's fairly nice. It's a modest spread. It's filling. It definitely does the job of being food, and it's better than blocks of animal fat and protein. From there, who else would like to join them? If any of you would.
I'll eat some garbage food.
Like I said, it's not garbage. It's just not much.
You make it
I'll,
sound like it's garbage.
I'll be
Make it
with
sound like they're having a hard time.
I'll be with them, but I wouldn't eat anything.
My body is ready, sir.
So the meal is good. It's filling. From there, from there, you all head back up, and Alicia calls you all to her room to discuss.
So, what's the plan?
Well, we've been sent here because of a recent rash of they actually never told me what it was. They just told me it was something that we needed to handle.
Oh, that's not ominous.
I basically said the same thing. You want to know what they told me in return?
It is the
Figure it
will of the
out.
church.
No, you will do it because it must be done. I was honestly expecting them to say that, though.
This isn't the town that had the weird rock thing, right, in the farm?
No, that was a way. That was a way south.
Gotcha.
Thank God. And,
So what you're telling us is we're in a place we've barely ever been to solve a problem we've been told nothing about, with no leads or aid whatsoever.
well, they did give us leads. Check the graveyards.
Check the check the places where you put the dead people for dead people.
Yeah.
Didn't the merchant say something
I
about
mean,
zombies?
I'm a disciple of the God of Death, and I've hired you as my personal retinue, and also I've had visions. I'd assume that the graveyards are the first place we should look.
Also, Necro, for your question, they're referring to the shit we stopped with your dimensional god uncle.
Yeah, were you referring what I just said about the merchant saying about the zombies, or
Yeah, the zombie thing we dealt with already.
Yeah, no, that happened a month or two ago, and you guys were the ones that solved it.
You think the crown would pay us a lot more for solving such a crisis? So, do you want to go now, or are we waiting until midnight?
I would prefer to go now while we still have light.
No midnight scroll in a quiet area.
Bonesaw is ready.
Thank you, Thargarth. The enthusiasm is needed.
We're ultimately trying to continue Dad's.
Ducky, I'm scared to ask. Was the character you just made a centaur?
Maybe.
I was wondering why you changed your picture.
God damn it.
I was gonna do a lizard folk, but now I have the book of whatever master.
Ravnica?
Yeah.
Are you actually planning to switch characters a fifth time? Or is this just to show off your new idea?
I have several new ideas, but I like this one, so yes.
God fucking your character just got paid!
Okay, so to the graveyards.
Tally ho.
Alrighty, to the graveyard. As you all pack up your stuff and head out. Keep in mind, it's about midday. So, not that bad, honestly. But eventually you do get there, and there are 2 guards stationed at the front. Because, fun fact, necromancy is a thing, and therefore, evidently, people would put guards on cemeteries. Granted, zombification isn't infectious, thank the gods. But, well, all it takes is one trigger-happy necromancer getting into a graveyard and raising an army overnight for them to realize they need to nip those buds. They need to nip those flowers before they can actually bloom. They initially stop you. Then names. Alicia holds up her holy symbol and they sort of look, and it's just as they take up as they sort of relent and let you in. You swear you hear one of them mumble under your breath. Yeah. Damn priests. I swear we lose one of them every day they go in there. But you're all inside before then, so. You have a rather wide plot. Most of them are just gravestones, and those gravestones ranging from the simple tombstone to much larger and much more elaborate
Jesus
statues.
Christ.
What?
Somebody is trying to blow my eardrum out.
Yeah, Holly, you're
Apologies.
breathing into the mic.
Sorry.
Hmm?
Sorry, I thought I was muted.
Ah, gotcha. So, You each have a corner of the graveyard you can take. East, west. There's top left, top right, bottom left, and bottom right. You can start. You all start in the center, which is a small mausoleum for, you presume, a noble family. But from what you can see, well, when you walked up, you didn't see any signs of tampering. Then again, you haven't looked that hard, or actually spread out. So who wants to take which corner?
Get the party.
Yes, we're splitting the party in a graveyard.
Well, you can move to each corner as a group. It would just take a while longer.
I'll take the top right.
I'll take top
Bottom left.
Top left. I guess Holly's taking bottom right.
Sure. Definitely not worried about splitting the party at all.
Alrighty.
You should
So-
all be fine. I'm the guy with the lowest armor class here.
Which is
14.
Don't you have mage armor?
Yeah, no, don't you have...
No, remember
Armor?
I lost that character sheet thingy that I was using and I never could find it. So I
Yeah.
went. So now I'm just a lowly goblin shaman.
Don't you have any
Alright.
armor?
I do have on a set of armor, but I only have a 14.
So if you're all sticking
I
together
don't
as a
even
group,
have armor on because I'm a sorcerer.
Oh, you were.
I told you I lost that sheet that I was using. I couldn't find it again.
Freaking Roll20 hates you.
It does.
it gives you your moments.
It also has eaten at least 3 of his characters.
Yeah, no. Like I'm getting on here and it's just completely blank. Like what the fuck? My Discord does that shit too. My Discord would be like, Clyde the Bible show up like, there's been an error. This whole thing is gone. I'm like, what do you mean this whole thing is gone? But fortunately, Dark Earth won't be around for long.
So at that moment, we all hear a yip! And we look to see a grave with a hole in it, where a goblin-sized hole used to be.
Where the goblin used to be. But no. So wait, are you splitting up or are you sticking together? Because it's...
We picked
I got bottom
corners
left.
of the damn cemetery.
Necro's got top right. Octavius got top left, and then old girl's got bottom right. Bottom right.
And you have bottom right, I'm assuming then.
Yes.
All right. Each of you roll a d20.
Oh, we're just doing flat d20s, okay.
This is more general luck than anything else. So
If only that person was a halfling.
Fuck that. It's got 4 extra feet. I'm good.
So, each of you, Thargirth, you find absolutely nothing. Not even not even an overturn, not even a kick down gravestone, which, well, you've been in enough cemeteries to know that somebody's dumb enough to kick over the gravestones at some point.
Hey, that's a curse they set on themselves.
Yeah, fair point, but regardless, you eventually get to your corner and find nothing. It's almost as if someone just went through the area and swept it clean. But you can start heading back if you want to. Moving on up. Moving on up. Azrael. As you explore your corner, you find bones. Not human bones or any other sentient species bones, but animal bones. The skulls of ravens, dog bones, hell, even a few spines from some rather small critters. Probably squirrels, if you had to guess.
Someone give me some chicken blood. I'm performing a ceremony.
Oh, don't do that. Please don't do that.
You want to have a voodoo curse? Because this is how we get the voodoo curse.
No, I have to deal with that shit in real life.
I'm sorry, what?
Is it just murdered on where the goals like scattered or like they're in a pile?
It looks like they've been scattered. If you strained your eyes, you could swear there's a pattern to them. But it's too faint to make out. It's like whatever happened, they intentionally screwed with it and messed it up so much that'd be impossible to recognize. Afterwards, you can head back if you want, but you find a few rather troubling signs. Some of the graves have been freshly dug up and then hastily reburied. You can tell because for most of them, grass starts to grow over at a certain point, but not with these. All the dirt's freshly churned. In fact, some of it's just pitch black. So, yeah. Moving on up. Octavius, as you venture into your corner, you find a skull. A full-on human skull. It looks fairly clean and rather old, meaning it's not gooey.
Alas, poor Yorick. Fuck him.
Yeah, Octavius picks up the skull and he just starts quoting Hamlet. But yeah, so
I guess I could ritual cast Identify just to be safe.
okay, you want to do that?
Yep.
Oh, sorry. You just like a whoop and then went silent, so I didn't hear you. Okay, you do, and it is laced with necromantic energies, though it's very faint. You're you're not actually sure what it's meant to do.
That's really scary considering what Identify does.
Well, it identify. Sorry, I need to actually.
Detect Magic tells you the school. Identify tells you the spell.
Oh, in that case, Ray's dead.
It's a
But
skull
it's-
of Ray's dead.
Well, no, Ray's dead's been used on it.
That's concerning.
You hear a voice respond in your head. You're telling me, buddy.
So are we going like
As you look
MGM
down,
bullshit or?
as you look down, and there's a little flickering green light in one of the eye sockets. For a few seconds of silence, and the skull. Sup?
First, it was a rock, now a skull.
Hey, I have a table, and you rolled to get high enough where you got the talking skull. Tough.
All right. Now here's the important question: do I name him Skeletor or even a worse pun?
That is up to you.
Okay, Jack Skellington, what's your deal?
First off, meat sack. Call me R. I know it's not much of a name, but it's the only one I got.
Swear to God, if you're referencing that shitty zombie movie.
No, I'm not. If you must know, his full name is Reginald. But he's just being a bitch until it's R. He feels like fucking with the meat sack.
He's trying to act cool.
More, he's been belligerent and left alone for a few weeks, so he just got bored and lonely.
Okay, R. Any reason why you're a talking skull and not a person anymore?
Well, there's this nifty new concept called dying. I don't know if you've ever heard of it.
Yeah, but someone brought you back from the dead and then apparently ripped your head off.
Or they could have just reanimated the head.
That's
always
what
an
Raised
option.
Dead does. Raised Dead brings you all back.
Oh, yeah. Good point.
Someone intentionally fucked you over.
That or my body decided to fuck off. I don't know. And before you ask how that's possible, well, why the fuck would I know? Point is, okay, why the fuck are you even here?
Well, as I'm your get. Damn it. Never mind. I was gonna do a bit, but.
Well, put simply, I remember waking up 2.5 weeks ago. Well, not so much wake up as, well, I think you get the point.
Uh-huh.
Anyways, my point is that there's a good bit of blank here. And honestly, I'm a bit pissed off at the fact that...
Wait, when you say blank, as in blank you can't say it, or blank you don't know it?
I don't know it, and if I did, I probably just wouldn't tell you. I'm going to be upfront. I really don't like you.
What the hell did I do?
Oh, nothing. I'm fairly certain it's whatever necromantic magic is pulsing through my what's left of my body, that is making me despise anything and all things living and flesh. Don't take it personally, kid. If you showed me a kitten, I'd probably try to gnaw it to death if I had a lower jaw.
Well, I have a dog.
Yeah, it might not be a good idea to introduce the two of us.
I don't know. I have a feeling the fear might override
That,
the
or
magic.
if you're a vindictive dick, you can strap me to the top of her. Or him. Why would I call a dog her?
Well, do you have anything else you'd like to say?
Well, that all depends on why you're here and why you picked me up.
To answer your first question, we're here because of bullshit. Second question was looking for bullshit.
You're a jobber, aren't you?
Well, I wouldn't say that.
Yeah, that's what a jobber would say. All right, jobber, take me to your leader. I always wanted to say that.
And I always wanted to do this. Ghost! And I Scooby-Doo run with the skull.
It's just gonna...
I'm fucking with him, but I'm hoping he's getting a headache from running so fast.
All right, Holly.
Hello.
As you venture into your corner, you're a slight as you keep hearing like this sort of mixture between a dull thud and the clattering of something against stone.
Okay.
And eventually you find behind a rather large set of those statue-like graves tombstones, you find a headless skeleton just continuously walking into a wall.
Huh.
Unfortunately, you aren't minding where you're stepping, and you accidentally step on a twig, and the thing immediately spins around and like puts fists up and is like twitching, trying to find you.
I will cast Sacred Flame on that. So
all right.
Go ahead.
Roll to attack because I'm fairly certain it's not a save.
It's a saving throw.
What's the save?
DC 14 Dex.
Fairly fitting, considering this is a headless body. It wouldn't really have much of a dexterity to it, would it?
It's also radiant damage. I don't know if that does double, but I'm sure it's
no,
dead either way.
bludgeoning. No, surprisingly, it is not dead yet.
Really?
Its bones are on fire, but at this point, it's just like flailing about and sort of just starts rolling on the ground to start putting it out.
Does my skull start screaming in pain?
It starts making uncomfortable grunting noises.
I mean, does it get a turn?
It's a headless skeleton that's not even armed with anything.
Okay, Sacred Flame that again.
Okay, not even gonna try to question it.
Why do we do so much damage?
I don't know. Why do I roll so poorly?
I don't know. Does 24 damage kill it?
Yep. As it just sort of shakes and then collapses. You feel satisfied and then turn around and leave, only to hear this. As you turn around, the skeleton's back.
Just a skeleton.
And it turns around promptly and starts walking into the wall again.
I'm just gonna groan and rub my head, like, why? Why is this happening? I'm gonna use thaumaturgy. I'm gonna make a small explosion. Like, I think it's a 30-foot range. Let me see. Yeah, 30 feet straight up. Just make a small explosion, signaling that people should probably come here.
It swings around and just starts not wildly flailing, but more just like groping the air as it like slowly moves towards you.
I was talking about 30 feet up straight in the air to signal my friends, not the skeleton.
Oh, well, the skeleton
all
is also
helping a
trying to
skeleton
walk
here.
towards the bot. You don't know, but somehow it does.
What?
We're in a freaking Looney Tunes cartoon right now.
Apparently. Alicia is the first to get there. It's like, I saw the signal. What do you... Oh, my.
I'm gonna
Well,
say I killed it, and then it popped back up, so I don't know.
That could certainly be an issue, couldn't it?
Yeah, I would cast Gentle Repose on it, but it didn't stay down long enough for me to do that.
Don't think that would
No,
work on
that
bones.
you...
Technically, you can cast Gentle Repose on anything that has a figure, although I probably wouldn't be able to do it since it doesn't have eyes to put the coins on. Now that I think about it.
Just let me know when it's my turn to show up.
You actually get there first after Alicia. It
Just
then
walking
goes
up with a
Thargarth.
skull on top of my head. Hey guys, look what I
Oh,
found.
hey! That's not mine.
That's even more concerning.
You're telling me.
Alicia, Holly, this here's R. He was brought back with Ray's dead and turned into this.
Nice to meet you two, ignorant, feckless piles of meat.
Are you just
How you
mentioning
doing?
HK-47?
Possibly. So I heard. So and he's gonna like try and whisper, but still talk loud enough for everybody else to hear. So which one's the one who owns your ass?
At this point, I wouldn't be surprised if it's both of them.
I can dig it.
Oh, great. More skulls. They come walking in.
You know, you're not so hot yourself, Starspawn. I wouldn't be throwing rocks in a glass house.
Wait, what'd you call him?
Starspawn. It's the name for anything weird I find. Actually, there was one present when I woke up. Turn me around so I can see that guy.
I grabbed the actually grabbed the skull and put it face to face for me.
Oh, you're not the one that woke me up.
Maybe more of a one who woke you up.
Oh. Looked weird, sounded weird, was missing an arm. And now that I think about it, part of his head. He just had a similar air to you, you know?
No, it wasn't me. It was the one-armed man.
Jesus. Thargarth, you finally get there, and you notice Azrael talking to a skull, a headless skeleton that's continuing to walk into a wall, and the other two looking at said skull.
So T minus when she hits it with a hammer.
Wait, which one are you hitting with the hammer?
I said T minus how long it takes for her to hit it with a hammer.
I mean, she doesn't technically have a hammer?
There's her attempt.
Which one are you doing it on?
You're also muted, Toki.
Do not do it on the skull.
So the body or the head?
Okay. What level? Third?
An alternative accommodation will be found for you for the duration of your stay with us.
You're gonna have to roll a d20 for it.
And
It doesn't work. The skeleton is still running into the wall.
Don't destroy the body just yet. I hand the skull over to Octavius, move the skull away from the wall, and make it go straight. I'll hand the skull back to Octavius, go over towards the skeleton, and can I move it that's away from the wall?
Sure, you can position it. It takes a few steps forward, then halts, turns around, bumping into another gravestone in the process before backing up, walking back to the original spot, and then continuing to try to walk through.
And what's the building this wall is connected to?
Oh, no, it's just the graveyard. It's just the outer wall of the graveyard.
Gotcha. So it's like a fence.
Oh, no, it's a stone wall. Again, necromancy is a thing. Again, it just takes one necromancer going a bit trigger happy in one of these things for everybody to start building stone walls around them.
Gotcha.
I think it's possible as trying to walk towards its head.
Everyone loves Benedict. He's a natural.
Yes.
I spent 6 months with him on a chessboard.
I'm asking if it's possible as trying to walk towards its head, like if it's
He never opened a book.
like drawn towards it.
He ends up
I don't think that one's like me, where it can, how we say, communicate proper. It's one of those slashy, stabby, kill all the humies bad. Whereas I am a begrudgingly work with them, but still despise their guts.
And where's your body exactly?
No idea.
Still, I am concerned. You're not well, George. I'm going to send you into hospital.
So, shot in the dark, there's probably something under this cemetery.
Don't worry, George. That's what friends are for.
Do you mean the bodies? Which, I mean, the buried bodies? You know, the ones under the ground?
But the skin test proved negative.
No, I meant more like catacomb bullshit.
Wait, why the hell would I know that? I don't know that.
I was just asking people in general.
They've been here for over a week now. I told you they wouldn't sell around here.
Some goods move a bit slower.
Yeah, well, I'm the one telling you it.
Is there any sort of tombs, catacombs?
What you don't know.
Alicia, not that I know of.
Or, besides the person who woke you up, what do you remember about the place where you woke up?
It was dark, damp, and cramped. So I was more or less just clawing my way out, you sort of have to realize that I wasn't exactly all there, if you catch my drift.
Looking down to below his neck, which doesn't exist.
Where did you find him, Octavius?
It was like on a stone, right?
Yep. Someone decided to be all poetic and shit and put me on a pedestal. I swear to God, when I find them, I want you to use me as a blunt force tool and kill them with me. Please. It would be one last good act before I go back.
I did found some unturned graves. Possibly you could come out of one of those.
Maybe.
When I was about 10, my uncle started coughing.
Okay. Well, how about we look at places that could hide something here? Like the big, stupid not sarcophaguses. What are they? Tombs? Tombs.
Mausoleum?
Yes, mausoleums.
Okay.
We're walking.
I thought it might be worth investigating.
So, as you all approach the mausoleum, the body, you still hear the distant thuds of the body in the distance. And you eventually do get there. It is only now that you hear some deep noise from within, the slow creaking of something, and the ever so faint, jagged scrape of something against stone. That's where we'll end it for the night. Get ready for some spooky stuff with some Scala boys.